Hi Capricorn, welcome to your mid-January 2019 tarot and astrology reading. Hope you're all doing very well. So this is quite a, well, to put it mildly, it's a bit of a life-changing month for most signs, you in particular, as we began the month with the partial solar eclipse in your sign. So there's a lot going on in different areas, but the one thing that I want to really dive into with you in this reading in particular is this total lunar eclipse in the sign of Leo. So for you guys, it's occurring in your 8th house, and 8th house is the house that when you mention it, people squirm and people get uncomfortable and people get worried because typically if there was a flash word people put up there, they would say it's the house of death. It's kind of, it's really not that bad a house. It gets such a bad rep, but a lot of the 8th house is actually because it's about facing ourselves and our limitations and who we are and what it is that we do, which is trashy. You know, what it is that we do that holds us back on our development, our growth in things. It's about the things that sometimes we have to let go in order to move forward. It is the ruler of Scorpio. And Scorpio is not so much to do with death as it is to do with transformation, really. You know, the phoenix rising from the ashes. There's something with this lunar eclipse that gets eclipsed out with you. As it is the house of death, something will die off. But this is very rarely someone talking about a physical person, right? So don't worry about that. It's more to do with something within you, or within your relationships, or within your perspective. If you're dealing with wills and legal issues at the moment, something unexpected may occur within the process. It could go in your favor, it could go against you. It really depends on the overall chart that you have, etc. But for the most part, I feel for Capricorn, this is going to be something that has been held on to for a bit too long and needs to be let go of in order for you to advance. This has been one of many series of eclipses, so this energy has been going on for a while. It can't be that startling, right? But if you're holding resentment to somebody from your past, this is probably a time when you will learn something that helps you get rid of that. Because it is the Scorpio house, you could be holding on to a Scorpio from the past, you could be resentful towards a Scorpio person, you could be self-sabotaging relationships because you are angry at somebody. It can be a very angry energy that needs to be let go of under this eclipse, but it's something that you're going to come out of feeling that bit lighter, okay? So while it may seem heavy in the meantime, it's actually going to release you somewhat, Capricorn. It's a beautiful month in general, but we do have a lot of change, and that's what the new year is all about. The sun does leave your sign on the 20th and go into Aquarius while this eclipse is occurring. So the change could be financial, actually. 8th house energy combined with 2nd house energy. Other people's money and your own may come into question. Your financial state may change, or you may realize that you've lost money by being careless. Knight of Wands activity. You may be traveling over this eclipse, in which case really look after your health because Mars is in Aries. Just make sure that you're not overdoing things or you're not trying too hard physically at certain things. It's a good time to be mindful of your body. Practice mindfulness and don't overextend yourself because you want to see a physical change. If it's a physical change you want to, if it's that you want to lose weight or something with this eclipse, just be mindful that you shouldn't try and change everything in one evening or one weekend. There is a square as well between, this is why I'm speaking on this actually, between Mars, Aries and your ruler Saturn. That's why I would say don't go too hard physically in certain things. Because the 8th house also rules sexual relationships, if you've been in a no strings attached bond, that may go out rather quickly or transform into something else. Scorpio is quite a secretive energy, and when it's the 8th house, it's something similar. You might have 8th house in your chart. You may have Scorpio in your chart, but it's a very transformative moment for you, and it's not something to try and resist, okay? Aries for you actually rules family, so there could be a confrontation about inheritance or other people's money, or you may find out that someone in your family has been squandering their money or something, and there needs to be a conversation. Just those little type of scenarios can appear, but it depends really. 9 of Wands, defense. Queen of Pentacles, where there's you in the middle, kindness. Knight of Pentacles, loyalty, and Knight of Wands, and Judgment. So yes, this is pretty transformative. And underneath, the Tower, destruction. Self-reflection and destruction. You may be feeling a little bit self-destructive around this period. Not to worry. That's easier said than done. It sounds a lot scarier than it is. So Capricorn, I want you to think back for a second where you were last summer and what was occurring. Okay? Where were you in your life, or what changes were occurring? Because something might come out there, or it may point you in the direction of what's going on with you. I think with the Tower and Judgment, you are going through a very specific change, and it may catch you by surprise. And you are going to try and resist it, is one thing that I see here. For a lot of you, it could be to do with travel, an unexpected delay, an unexpected issue with traveling. Relocation may make some sort of, it may have some sort of hindrance attached to it with the Tower here. The Tower is Mars energy, so as I said, this is affecting you in your family sector. I think it may be very much to do with somebody in your family moving, spending money, or somebody relocating, or to do with the family home in general. But it can also surround a fire sign. With the lunar eclipse being in Leo, which is a fire sign people are going to be that little bit more under this influence, and they're going to be a little bit more extreme in their approaches to certain things, or they may be very quick to shut down conversations. Or at least try to. I think with the Knight of Pentacles in your positive position, your loyalty is not being questioned. You're very loyal to this person, possibly to a fault. You're very loyal to circumstances to a fault, and you want to see things through, which is great. But Judgment means that something may have to go. Judgment is also all about looking inwards and finding your inner calling and having to make your better judgment call. You're not going to do that if you're defensive, okay? To me, Judgment in the Tower looks like a snap decision whereby you have to figure out what to do quite quickly, okay? Following your intuition, following your inner guidance system. And for me, for some reason, what you decide to do here is based on loyalty. If this is a relationship, 9 of Cups and 3 of Swords. A wish and a heartache. Healing from... For some of you, it's a heartbreaker returning. For others of you, you're finding closure by getting your confidence back. So you may, as I say, eclipse something. Oh, yes, you're eclipsing somebody out and starting over. That was the Fool card. Possibly some of you are eclipsing out an Aries, actually, which is kind of interesting. But something has to go. You're in for a surprise, I think, around this lunar eclipse. And Capricorns don't typically like surprises because you like to plan ahead quite a bit. 8 of Swords, restriction. Okay. Security. So your focus is on security, and this lunar eclipse is making you feel a bit insecure. Ace of Wands, growth. Okay, so something you can grow from. 4 of Wands and the challenge, and the 10 of Pentacles is luck. Okay, the Tower is underneath again. Oh, you're going through such a change. But it's a good one. It is a good one. This is one thing that I'm getting. Judgment and the Ten of Pentacles. It's a very positive change. Now, with the Aquarian energy, the sun moving into Aquarius financially, you may actually find that someone has, as this is an eclipse in your 8th house, somebody that passed may actually have left you money, for some of you. Or you may be helping somebody with a will. But financially, your luck seems to be improving quite a bit. Aquarian energy will do that. Then we have a new moon in Aquarius in February, where you will be able to set your financial intentions and your financial goals. But for now, with the Aquarian energy, you're going to get a bit of a wake-up call to your money. Because security is paramount to your comfort. For some of you, this eclipse gives you a new start and a new plan that you stick to, and you're not going to budge on that plan. You see it as an opportunity for growth. After you've come through your Tower moment, you see this as an opportunity for growth, which it is. The challenge is, for a lot of you, as I say, family. It's to do with the home. You may be at loggerheads with somebody quite significantly. Neptune in Pisces, for you, affects siblings. And with Jupiter in your 12th, squaring Neptune in the 13th, the 12th being your inner sense of self. You know, the 12th and the 8th house get confused quite a bit, actually. And I think for you guys, there's going to be a little bit of taking out the trash emotionally. And for some of you, it's very much to do with your siblings, I must say. There's one sibling in particular in this reading that seems to throw a spanner in the work for you. Housing in particular, housing and relocation are, they're challenged, I must say. So if you're thinking of moving this month or buying a house, even traveling seems to be tricky. And with Mercury not being in retrograde, it is an unusual combination to get, which is why I'm thinking a lot of it is to do with the family home and that Neptune square. Sagittarius does rule travel itself, so to have Jupiter there squaring off Neptune means traveling for anybody could be a little bit tricky in its own way, but simply because you'd be walking around with a bit of a fog on. So with self-reflection and luck, Judgment and the Ten of Pentacles, I must say, Capricorn, that to me screams of somebody somewhere leaving you some money. Or you may find that you start a job with more money. You may find that since last summer you began a job that has more money, and you're looking at ways to advance in this, which is positive. I'm curious about this Tower moment, what it really is. It seems to throw you for a loop. So, some of you are quite possibly being woken up to what type of career you really want, because some of you feel stuck where you are. When I see the Nine of Wands and the Eight of Swords, it's very restrictive, but it's pushing on anyway. You're not entirely sure you've followed your life calling. In fact, some of you think you don't have a life calling. And you may hit the refresh button and change completely to what it is that you want to do. It could be a quite sudden revelation, I must say. Whenever this changes, it's very transformative, and it's casting out illusions that you've put on yourself. Some sort of definition of your life and yourself or your relationships has been false. I'm going to go into the extended, I'm doing love extendeds now, so you can go in there and see what it is for each element. So if you're dealing with an air sign, if you're dealing with a water sign, if you're dealing with an earth sign, etc. And see what's going on there. But I'll pick up the energies as they come through in this reading. I just think you're going through a very, very, very big change. The Tower in Judgment is as big as it gets, really. Unless we get the Death card too. But We'll see. Or the Wheel of Fortune. King of Swords, you could be dealing with an air sign who's very, very stubborn. Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. But it may also be your ambition is actually restricting you from doing what it is that you really want to do, because you think, I have to look a certain way to society. I have to look a certain way to my family. Page of Cups. You want more romance in your life. So if you're single or coupled, you still want more romance. And you want more romantic security. If you're dealing with an air sign, they might be a bit touchy over the eclipse, especially if it's an Aquarius. The Chariot in the positive position. The Star is the challenge. And the Queen of Wands. The Wheel of Fortune is here. Okay. So when I say the Queen of Wands in passion, I do think that some of you are just absolutely making a change in your career and going after something that fulfills you. The problem is that in your challenge position, we have the Star, which is hope. You're losing hope and you're losing faith on a situation regarding your family or regarding your living situation, more security in your relationships. Some of you are hoping for just one romantic message of some kind and you feel like you're not getting it. Very well, if this is to do with somebody from, you know, that you've split with or someone you're not speaking to, they may very well pop up if they're a fire sign or a Cancer. But I'm also sort of sensing that you are putting a lot of you, well, you have been putting your eggs all in one basket, whether it's a person, whether it's a career, and you get a sudden wake-up call that this may not actually have been what you want, and now you're thinking, I need options. The thing is, Capricorn, you can plan as far ahead as you want, and this is one of the things that you have to learn with your sign. You can plan as much for the future as you want, and you can think you have everything under control. Life doesn't work like that, especially if you think you've got it all sorted out and the universe thinks you're going in the wrong direction. It may change. As much as this wheel goes round and round, it can stop and go the other direction. Destiny is at play with this lunar eclipse for some reason. For some of you, it's definitely romantic. Some of you that are completely single may meet somebody who, especially if it is a fire sign, somebody who really knocks your socks off and changes your path completely. It could be a Cancer as well. But there's great sense of movement and a great sense of change here that's very, very welcome. I feel that this change is positive. So even if you feel temporarily as if you've lost hope, or you feel quite pessimistic about this change, your outlook and your understanding will change in a flash to something else. This is kind of, not to sound too dramatic, but this is kind of as if your perspective and a lot of the things around you change within a day. And you kind of wonder, how did that happen? The Wheel of Fortune can do that. But the thing is, the Chariot being in your positive position means the movement is going in the right direction. Because the Chariot's all about going forward. For some of you, you might be buying a new car. For some of you, as I say, you might be starting a new job, new business. I think a lot of you are following your passions. Now, I don't leave them on a court card, so I'm just going to clarify this Queen of Wands. Ooh, the Queen of the Ocean, Empress. Abundance. And the Hermit. Interesting. Some of you are dealing with a Taurus or a Virgo, actually, that's very well aspected too. But the way I'm sort of seeing this is that there may be a very significant shift in some people's family dynamics. I don't know if maybe the mother of the family has, you know, if like your mother has suddenly left your home or something, or the father, or your mum has certainly like gone on this strange spiritual retreat that you don't understand. The Empress can rule the mother, you see, but for most of this, I sort of feel as if you are realizing that you have your own personal power and you're not a slave to anybody else's demands, or you're not a slave to needing one particular person. The Hermit can be it can seem like an isolated energy, but with the Empress, it actually just means you're looking for spiritual fulfillment in a different direction. in another way. And for a lot of you, it is career. I think some of you have definitely been on the wrong path, and you're definitely having a change in perspective and a change in awareness of what it is that you want. If it's relationships, you may be deciding to spend a bit of time on your own, or you may be rethinking what it is that you want from the relationship if you feel restricted. With the sun moving into Aquarius financially, it's wonderful, because that's where your awareness goes, and you have more tools to make these changes. And then to have the 8th house eclipse, you are maybe tired of making money for somebody else, and you want to be the one making the higher percentage of what it is that you work for. You're kind of tired of giving to men in suits. Kuan Yin, compassion, release judgment. Now, isn't that funny? Judgment, the outcome card. Release judgments about yourself and others and focus on the love and light that is within everyone. So there could be a healing with your siblings and your family if there is issues there, or romantically. Mary Magdalene, unconditional love. So really you're being tested in your love this month, Capricorn, to just be more understanding. As I say, you don't like not having a plan. You could be dealing with someone, particularly if it's a fire sign, who doesn't mind just going with the moment. And you're starting to feel like you want to have a bit more say in what comes in the future if you feel like somebody else is calling all the shots. But you still have to be understanding. This person has, they're just doing what they think is best. So if you're looking to see what's going on with the air signs for you, earth signs, water signs, etc., you can join the extended. And if not, I will see you next month. Bye.